This whole thread is about the amp I talked about in my video. Why is my video out of place? How's my video spam? My video is clogging up your feed? You know what? F you. F you. Hey there, I'm Dan, the self-proclaimed Lonely Rocker. Thank you so much for joining me today. So I'm really super excited. Wanted to do a quick video today to announce something that I'm involved in. I got together with a bunch of friends, guitar players, and YouTubers primarily to create a new Facebook group experience called Rock and Metal Amps, Pedals, and Gear, which pretty much means that encompasses anything to do with our beloved instrument, the guitar. Now, there's a big backstory as to why we started this group, and it was kind of a reaction to something that happened, but that almost doesn't really matter. We're just a bunch of friends and we share a common interest, and we wanted to create the ultimate experience for guitar players to come in and enjoy. Now, it's common that YouTubers will have their own, social medias and they share what they do in there, but there's something to be said about a bunch of YouTubers coming together for the greater good of the community, and that's why we created this group. Now, I want to introduce the members of the group to you, but one of the reasons why we decided to do this is being a YouTuber, especially in this day and age, is not easy. There's a lot of big guitar channels that have been around for a long time that suck up a lot of air on YouTube. And then there's a bunch of smaller channels, that some of which are growing, but sort of the definition of what it means to be a successful YouTuber these days, I think is a little different because it is quite watered down. There's a lot of channels out there. So part of being a YouTuber is promoting what you do. And sometimes we'll go into forums, we'll go into, Facebook groups and things like that, and we'll share links. Personally, I do it if I think it's a topical conversation. I never just drop a video and disappear. I'm always looking to engage in conversation. But there's this sentiment from, I think it's a minority, but a loud minority of people think that we're taking videos that are sometimes sponsored and we're dropping them into the groups and raking in all kinds of cash or doing something, or trying to at least, which really couldn't be further from the truth. Now, I can only speak from my perspective, but 86% of the views that I get on my channel are directly from the YouTube algorithm. And the remaining amount, which is external, about 5% of my views comes from external, social media sites, groups and forums and things like that. And if you break it down to individual groups, not one of them actually moves the needle. I just do it because I like to engage in conversation in a community that I enjoy, chatting with other players. And the sentiment that I'm somehow raking in the cash by dropping my links in those groups or getting in their way, it's really silly because we work hard on these videos. And if you're just dropping and running is one thing, but I'm always engaging in conversation. Anyways, we got tired of dealing with that. So we decided to create a group where we can be open to share all kinds of content from ourselves as well as our community. We've invited all sorts of industry people. We've got some great manufacturers there. Amps I got behind me, Engel, Rev, Hughes and Kettner, well represented in this group as well as a bunch of other brands. So there's a lot of great stuff going on. So the first thing I want to do is actually introduce the team. I've got links to all of these channels in the description, so please check them all out. So aside from me, we've got a good friend of mine, Tone Maestro, John from Sonic Drive Studio. The other John Browne, but really he's the John Browne. The one-man amp and cab distribution center, Kyle Bull. Metal god and comedian, Taylor Danley. Modeling expert and traveling guitar player, Steve Sterlacci. All flavor and no filler, we've got Max Powers, Tasty Tone. Guitarist currently touring in Mammoth WVH, John Jourdan. Hardcore to the 9th degree, we've got Ninecore Neil. Chasing tone and not his tail, the Goose Chase Music. The underlord of high gain and low tunings, Draven Noire. From rants to riffs, we've got Lucas Lecompte. Tells it like it is, but don't call him Mr. Robert Jackson. Riff ready and battle tested, we've got Jarrod from Tone Wars. And last but not least, the Southpaw Shred Machine, Mendel Bij De Leij. Please check out all of their channels, they're all great creators. So what was really exciting for me is when we launched this group, it just seemed like immediately it took off. Everyone started to hear about it. Of course, it's a multi-channel approach. We have multiple YouTubers here, so we reached out to our communities and they started flooding in the first day. We had about 1,000 members on the first day, and we're getting close to 2,000 now, and it continues to grow. There's a steady trickle of people coming in virtually every hour, so that's really exciting to see. But what has really excited me was getting to see what you guys are doing and see all those amazing collection of amplifiers and guitars. Just, it's really amazing to me, especially those of you that don't have a YouTube channel, that you're just doing it for the love of it. And I think that's what drives me to do what I'm doing. Certainly one of the motivating factors. So anyways, I want to share some of these amazing collection with you guys. Check it out. something that I want to say, a lot of people ask me why I do this. I had a career as a television producer before I got into doing YouTube. The pandemic era, we'll call it, sort of changed a lot of things in my life. I'm not going to get too personal in this particular video, but I started doing YouTube more regularly during the pandemic and continued doing it afterwards. I've made a lot of sacrifices to do this. I decided at that point in my life that I just wanted to do something that I really enjoy. And it's hard. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a huge channel. I've been growing steadily since I started and hoping to, find more and more opportunity. And it's been slowly happening for me, but it is a lot of work. I'm not going to lie. Working as a television producer and getting a campaign and just being busy for a month and then getting paid at the end of it is a completely different thing than, prospecting, really reaching out to different brands, coming up with different concepts and things like that. So really being part of a community is why I do this. That's what really keeps me going. I got to feed my kids. I got to earn a living, and I'm not shy about that, but I'm not blatantly out there grabbing every sponsorship I can with two fists. I really am selective about the things that I feature and the stories that I cover here. And I have a rule that I have to enjoy it if I'm going to talk about it. And that's my personal rule. But of course, I'm actively seeking out opportunities to earn money because it just drives this whole experience. I can't do it if I can't eat, if I can't feed my family. So I have a multi-pronged approach, and that's how I do it. Perhaps I'll get more specific one day. But anyways, I really love the community surrounding this guitar community and the other YouTubers that I'm getting to meet. I've made friends all around the world, all the different companies that I never would have met otherwise. And it's a real pleasure to get to really interact with them in a more meaningful way. All the YouTubers that we have in our group are really passionate about what they do, and we've really become friends and we support each other. And I think we have a common vision. I think that'll really drive the culture of this group. And what really is going to make this group great is you guys, coming in, sharing our story, sharing what you are doing, consuming some of the content we make. Of course, we want to share what we're doing, but we want you to enjoy it. But I think it's more of an interactive experience in a group such as Facebook because we can hear and we can see what you're doing. So if you haven't already joined, I highly recommend that you join the group. I'll link that down in the description. Drop in there, say hi, send a picture of your gear. We would love to see it. Anyways, if you did enjoy this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. And remember, you don't need a band to rock and roll. I'll catch you in the next one.